Yes, what's happening, Pete, man? What is happening? This was supposed to be a live. Big up to everybody. This was going to be a live, but for some reason, my StreamYard is moving mad. So I said, you know, fuck it, we still got to record it. Let's just get it done. I will post this out as a live premiere or something like that, so we can obviously chop it up in the chat. So big up to everybody in the building, whether you're watching this now, whether you're watching this on the replay, who cares? Just make sure you smash that like button as always. So yeah, man, I got this kind of like new segment, new show or whatever, kind of sees the TED Talks kind of vibe. Like I say, I hope to make this a live kind of stream and then I can chop it up with you guys properly. But I don't know, I'll see how this kind of goes as well, because I like being in the chat where I can just chat with you lot whilst we're watching me on the screen, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we'll see how that kind of goes and how it works out. But obviously GTA G talks about, and yeah, just different things, different kind of things in terms of what obviously football related, because we're obviously over here, but you know, little topics, little bits. So I'll try and keep it to like 3 topics that I will talk about, of course, over here, and then yeah, you know, just whatever kind of comes, you know, from that in itself. So like I say, man, big up to everybody. I'll be in the chat regardless, so we can chop it up, and then of course take it from there. Now let's kind of get into it properly. So the 3 topics I've got today was, first one is, you can kind of see them in the title anyway, but the first one was formation versus style of play. Then the next one was obviously talking about Arne Slot and Liverpool, because I guess it will tie into that anyway. And then the third one was just more about fans, and yeah, just fans in a general sense. Obviously, like specifically Liverpool fans, but fans. This also does apply to, you know, every fan base, especially here, of course, in the UK. So we'll start off with the first one, right? Formation versus style of play. This is where I need to start, because I think personally that quite a lot of people are confused between the two. Quite a lot of people, they like, especially obviously we're talking about Liverpool, but I feel like people confuse the two and they think it's the same thing. And because they think it's the same thing, I feel like we're not having the right conversations, right? And you guys already know I'm already tired of talking about Liverpool in a general sense, but really, a part of this is one of the reasons why when I sit down and I listen to people, if it ain't really the man them, if it ain't really the guys who I know they know what they're talking about, if it's not really them, then sometimes I sit there and think, guys, we need to understand the difference. Because, and this is just, we're talking, this is just basic level stuff, right? Now, this isn't to patronize anybody. This isn't to make you feel, nah, forget all of that. I ain't really here to do that. What I'm just saying is that in order to have the right conversations, we need to kind of know what it is that we're trying to say. Do you get what I'm saying? So again, I don't have all the knowledge. I don't know everything, and I don't even try to I don't even try to act like I do know everything, but I know enough. Do you know what I'm saying? I know enough to get me in a room and have this kind of, you know, conversation. And this is probably more for the online fans and stuff like that. But yeah, this is something, it just bugs me. It bugs me. So one of the main things, right? One of the main things, and before we even get into that, one of the main things that obviously Liverpool fans have been talking about quite a lot over the last few weeks, the last few months, well, really since the season obviously began. Obviously, we know Liverpool been shit, they've been rubbish, losing games left, right, and centre, breaking records of losing games since God knows when, and blah, 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 right? One of the things that people keep going on about is, yeah, but he's not playing the right formation. Now, I don't even disagree if everyone's got their own opinion on what formation. I've now got to the point in myself where I'm just kind of like, I don't actually care about what formation he plays. For me, and again, this is just for me, just so that people understand, I think it doesn't make any difference what formation he decides to play. He, like him specifically, it doesn't make any difference whether he plays 3 at the back, 4 at the back, 5 at the back, 6 at the back. Whether he plays 3 midfield, 4 midfield, 5 midfield, 6 midfield. Whether he goes with 4 up front, 5 up front, 3 up front, 1 up front, 2 up front. It makes no difference. It doesn't matter what the hell he actually decides to do. The reason why I feel that it doesn't matter is because one of the main reasons as to why I would like to have or I wanted a different manager prior to Arne Slot, i.e. De Zerbi, i.e. Luis Enrique, i.e. a Thomas Frank, i.e. A Nagelsmann, whatever. The reason why I wanted, or Jabi Alonso, should I say, the reason why one of those managers is that the one thing you can't say about these managers is that they don't have an identity. They have an identity. They have a style of play. Now, Just like Amarim. Amarim's another one. He has an identity and a style of play, right? His formation is his formation. He can play three at the back, whatever. That's fine. Javi Alonso can play three at the back, but he can also do four at the back. Pep Guardiola, my favorite manager of all time, he can play 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. It doesn't matter. The style of play will always be the style of play. Jurgen Klopp, someone who I've criticized openly many a time. Many a time I've criticized Jurgen Klopp, rightly or wrongly, but he had a style of play. He had an identity. Formation is his formation. It's 4-3-3, blah blah blah, 4-1-2, whatever, however you want to put it. That's his formation, right? In terms of where the players are on the pitch and etc. But he had an identity. You knew what he was going to do. Liverpool's main problem, in my opinion, is that it doesn't matter about whether they're going to play 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. Some people want us to play 3-5-2. It doesn't matter. It really does not matter. I promise you, it doesn't matter. We don't have a style of play, though. Now, of course, context and of course, understanding as well. The two will go hand in hand. When you have the style of play, which is the first important thing before the formation, before we even want to know where do you want everyone to be on the pitch? Do you want me as a left back? Do you want me as a left? Before you even get to that, we need an identity. We need to understand what it is the manager wants to do on the pitch, whether it's he wants to be like prime Barcelona, whether he wants to be like a PSG, whether he wants to be a team that sit in a low block, whether he wants to be a team that likes to keep possession, whether he wants to be a team that just hit people on the counter attack all the time, whether he wants to be, a team that is kind of in between, a little bit of both, whether he wants to be a team that's hard to beat. So a bit like Arsenal as an example, whether he wants to be, a team that is gung ho, whatever it is that he wants to do, we need that first. Then you can start worrying about the formation. Then we can start worrying about, oh, okay, so I think then we can play 4-3-3. This allows this. Da, 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 da. Now, like I said, the two do go hand in hand, but you need the identity, style of play, same thing. You need that first. Once you have that, I promise you, the formation, you can chop and change that, and it shouldn't make too much of a difference. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, yeah, it's not going to, it will make a difference, obviously, if you play 3-5-2 as an example, but then you switch to like a 4-3-3 or whatever, it might make a little bit of a difference just in terms of maybe distances or maybe just in terms of their positioning of certain players where they may or may not be. Of course it would, understandably, but it's not going to make that much of a difference. Why? Because the style of play and the identity is already there. What we're trying to do on the pitch, we should really be able to kind of do this in any formation, really and truly. They're professional athletes. I feel like they should be able to do it. I've seen it from the best teams in the world anyway. So I'm sure that it can happen for anybody really and truly who's obviously at that kind of level. Liverpool do not have that. That is the main problem. The problem I'm seeing on the timelines and stuff like that is that we keep having this conversation, which is why I don't really want to participate in the conversations, whether it's with the man them, whether I'm seeing on other channels or whatever. You keep having the same conversation. I'm seeing on the timelines as well. Yeah, we should play this formation. Stop, Liverpool fans, please stop talking about the formation we should or shouldn't play. I promise you, it does not matter. It's what's the word I'm looking for, man? It's really what I really want to say is it's a stupid conversation. It's just showing me like, guys, like it's coming from a good place. I will say that it's coming from a good place because obviously we want the team to do well. We're sick and tired of what we're seeing at this current moment in time. That's understandable, but it doesn't matter about what the formation. It really does not matter. Get the style of play, get the identity first, then play whatever the hell you want to play. Play whatever formation you want to play. So that's where I kind of wanted to just kind of show everybody like, this is formation, this is style of play. Then I feel like we'll start to understand just a little bit more. And I feel like that's the issue, is that we don't understand like what it is that we're even trying to say. So it's coming across a little bit like, some people say, yeah, we should play this formation. Some people are arguing with you. Why we shouldn't play that because we lose. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Brighton, Marseille, Manchester City, Newcastle, all of these teams, and there's more, but I'm just those four off the top of my head, right? You want to throw anybody? Bayern Munich. All of these teams have an identity. They know what they want to do on the pitch. The manager knows what he wants his team to do. It may not always work. That is understandable, and nobody cares. I promise you, nobody cares. You know why nobody cares? Because it's going to work more often than it doesn't. And that's all you need it to do. I just need it to work more often than it doesn't. and I'm already in the plus. Then it's about, have I got the quality? Then it's about find little margins. Then I can maybe in other little areas, i.e. set pieces and things like that, which Arne Slot keeps talking about. Those things then become those extra 1% here, 2% there, etc. Instead of it being trying to make it like the large part of what we're trying to do. Forget all of that. We need an identity first. So obviously, I just got the definitions here, as you guys obviously saw before. So this is, excuse me. So this is formation. This is the definition of formation. A football, I know you guys can read it, but I'm going to read it out anyway. Like to show off my reading skills. A football formation is the arrangement of players on the field, representing a team's tactical setup and providing a blueprint for player positioning and responsibilities. Formations are often described by a numerical notation, such as 4-4-2, which indicates the number of players in defense, midfield, and attack, respectively, 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, 2 forwards. The structure gives guidance to players on how to move and their duties in both attacking and defending situations. So that's formations, where they are on the pitch. You know, you've got, in essence, 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, 2 forwards, of course, in a 4-4-2. I don't need to explain all the other kind of, all the other kind of formations and stuff. The structure gives guidance. Key word here. The structure gives guidance to players on how to move and their duties in both attacking and defending situations. We're going to come back to that. Let me just show you guys this. Style of play. A football style of play is a team's overarching approach to how they play the beautiful game, encompassing their tactics for attacking, defending, and transitioning with or without the ball. It's the team's identity, determined by the coach's philosophy and the player's capabilities. Sorry, I just had to throw that. And can be broken down into various methods such as high pressing, possession-based passing, like tiki-taka, or direct play with long balls. A style of play is distinct from a formation like 4-3-3, which is a structural setup, whereas the style dictates how the players operate within that structure. We're going to go back to this. This is the formation, guys. Stay with me. Stay with me. Last sentence. This structure gives guidance to players. It is not, as it says here, the overarching approach to how they play. It gives guidance. So when we keep having the conversation and everybody keeps telling me or keeps saying on streams or keeps saying in timelines, yeah, I think we should play this formation because X, Y, it doesn't matter. It does not matter what formation you play. I promise you. Play any formation. I promise you, if you've got your philosophy, it should look the exact same anyway, with a few differences. Obviously, if I'm playing a 3-5-2 or a 4-3-3, 4-3-3 only has one striker. A 3-5-2 has 2 strikers. But guess what? I could have potentially one of those strikers drift out to the wing or wherever. And all of a sudden, kind of looks like I've got a bit of a 4-3-3 because I might get one of the midfielders to drop back in. That might then make it a 4 instead of a 3 at the back. Now I've only got 3 in midfield as an example, whatever. It doesn't matter. So when we keep having that, and I just feel like the Liverpool family, obviously, is peak right now because of the way that Liverpool have obviously been. So I do get it. But I'm also like, guys, we need to have better conversations. All the tacticos, please use your spaces to just educate the people. This is me at the base level, and I don't even have the level of knowledge that some of these tacticos have. And I know you guys have got the knowledge, but you're putting it out in the wrong way. You're giving out the wrong messages. Keep telling people, yeah, 3-5-2 here. Let's do this. Maybe Liverpool should. No, forget all of that. Let's start at the beginning first. Because at this moment in time, Liverpool are not even there yet. We're not even at the point where probably could play this formation, that formation. Yeah, maybe we should play 3 at the back, 4. We're not there yet, guys. It has been shown. It has been shown since he came to the football club that we're not there yet. He's not that type of brother. So guess what? Let's start off with the football style of play. I'm going to read it again. It's a team's overarching approach to how they play the beautiful game, encompassing their tactics for attacking, defending, and transitioning with or without the ball. It's the team's, and I wish they highlighted this instead, it's the team's identity. Guys, how many times have you heard me scream, I don't care about who's playing. I don't care about all of it. I need to know what's your identity, my brother. Hence why I want these other managers who have an identity, because I know with the players that Liverpool have, as much as I cuss these players all the time, some of them are actually really good, right? They're definitely better than what they're showing at this current moment in time. So, and I know that. You guys know that in the chat. You guys know that who are watching on the replay. But we don't have an identity. And that is killing Liverpool. That's what's killing Liverpool at this moment in time. More than anything else, that's what's killing Liverpool. So when, obviously, I didn't watch the games, but I went to watch the replay. So again, maybe I'm not the best person to speak on this. When Liverpool won the game against Villa, won the game against Real Madrid, everyone was like, oh my God, and Frankfurt as well. If you go back a few games, everybody talk about it was like, oh my God, like, yeah, we should play this way, this formation. It doesn't matter what the formation is. Like, why would you, like, who cares? The formation is the formation. Like, you know what I'm saying? 4-4-2, 4-5, what? It doesn't really matter, the formation. What we need is, what's the identity? What's the style of play from the team? What is the team really trying to do? What is he trying to do? Because from the replays and the way that Liverpool played on the weekend, I'm like, it's kind of similar, if I'm being honest. Maybe City just worked harder. But outside of that, I feel like it was kind of very much the same in terms of what he was trying to do. He wasn't trying to overexpose himself, but he ended up overexposing himself because he was so worried about Manchester City playing through the centre. But he kind of did that against Aston Villa. The difference is Aston Villa are not Manchester City, so they're not as good at playing out from the back. But Man City played out from the back. Liverpool tried to press. Nobody had a problem with it when it was Aston Villa, but you had a problem with it against Manchester City. Why? Because it's Manchester City. So he did the same things. It was very, very similar to that game. Real Madrid, he did the same thing. Real Madrid are another team. They like to play out from the back, but they can go long whenever they need to. But the reality is they're going to try and play out from the back. No one really had a problem with it. Why? Because Liverpool just pressed. And guess what? They're not Manchester City. As good as Real Madrid are, who are one of the best teams in the world, so are Manchester City. And guess what? They're the best team in the world at that. They're the best, literally. Only behind De Zerbi's Brighton. And yeah. Did you get what I'm saying? So this is what frustrates me, is when we're having these conversations, and from your favorite streamers to, like I said, the tacticos and the big accounts on social media, that's the problem in the Liverpool fan base. I can't speak for every fan base, but that's the issue that I have, is just that we're having the wrong conversations. Where we keep having the wrong conversations, and then we just keep getting mad about it. When Liverpool keep playing shit, we just keep throwing another one. Let's try 4-3-3. Let's try 4-2-3-1. Let's try 4-4-2. Let's try 3-5-2. Let's try. We keep throwing. Every time we lose a game, I'm seeing a new formation. I'm seeing a different formation than what we saw last. I'm like, the formation isn't the problem. It'll never will be the issue. It won't be the issue. It can't be the issue. We're not a team who are like a shit team. We're not in the championship. We're not in another league where we're one of the mid teams. But we're supposed to be one of the best teams with some of the best players. So I promise you, the formation won't make that much of a difference. It really won't. But guess what? We don't have an identity. Even though if I watch Brighton, I can see theirs. Newcastle, I can see theirs. Bournemouth, I can see theirs. Brighton, I can see theirs. Man City, I can see theirs. Arsenal, I can see theirs. Manchester United have had an identity since the day that Amorim walked in. Forget that it doesn't work. He's had an identity. Liverpool don't seem to have that. We have had, since he's come in, what we've had is just kind of like a bit of Klopp's identity mixed in with a bit of Liverpool, like his own identity, but it was really, say, 80% of Klopp's identity, but he added that 20%, which obviously, of course, allowed Liverpool to win the Premier League. And then this season, I have no idea as to what he's, necessarily trying to do. Do you get what I'm saying? That moves us on to Arne Slot himself. Obviously, like I said, I've spoken there about Arne Slot and, him just in general. As I said there, one of his main issues, obviously, the identity and all that kind of stuff, which confuses me because one of the things that quite a lot of people spoke about when he did join is they were speaking so much about his identity. And obviously, brother, I'll keep it a buck. I didn't really know about him. The only thing I knew about Arne Slot prior to him coming to Liverpool, right, or prior to him even being linked with Liverpool, I'll say that, was when he was linked to Tottenham. Fully remember that, because I fully remember thinking maybe for Tottenham this actually might be really, really good, because Tottenham almost, obviously they end up getting Ange, and I know Ange obviously ended up winning the Europa League, and I get that, but I always felt like this is like such a typical Liverpool thing to do, and obviously it's difficult because obviously Liverpool won the league last season with him, so he definitely gets congratulations for that. I can't knock him for winning the Premier League, but I always felt like, yeah, Tottenham would have been a good move for him. Obviously, seeing hindsight, seeing how he is now, and not even now, it just even when he won the league, I was like, yeah, I still thought, yeah, he maybe should have gone to, not should have because he won the league, so that's what you want to do, but maybe for like career development wise, I would have looked at him and be like, yeah, Tottenham would have been a good move. Do you know what I mean? A club that doesn't win anything, obviously, until a couple of seasons ago, but doesn't win anything, is always just kind of hovering somewhere. You get what I'm saying? Like whether it's hovering top 4 or hovering mid-table or hovering, yeah, it's just always hovering with Tottenham kind of thing. They're not a successful club by any stretch of the man. Maybe commercially, I'll give them that. But in terms of on the football pitch, they're not successful like that. They don't really have an identity. They've been trying to chop and change Mourinho, Conte's, Ryan Mason's, all of this, bring in anybody in just to try and get them going in the right kind of direction, but it just hasn't worked. Maybe he might have been the right kind of manager. Now, fast forward 12 months, he ends up winning the Premier League. I've had my thoughts on that already. Like I said, I'll just congratulate him. But do I look at it and think, oh my God, no, not really. But at the same time, you've done it. So you get big up for that regardless, right? So when we are now looking at an Arne Slot now, I think what's paining people more than anything else isn't the fact, well, obviously it's the fact that Liverpool are losing games, but it almost seems at times you don't really know what you're doing. And I think that's what's bugging people the most, is that you almost just look like you don't even know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? You don't even know, or you don't even seem to understand what it is you're trying to do. And that's what's pissing people off the most, because they're sitting there as fans and we don't know more than you. You are the manager. So let's not do that or whatever. But you are the manager. And we're looking at you for some level of guidance. We're looking at you for, okay, show us what's going on. You ain't providing that for us. You're coming out in press conferences, constantly talking about what you can't do. I almost feel like you forget that this is football and you're in England. Understand and maybe read the room a little bit, Slot. That would be my advice. Whether you take it or leave it, that's your business. He may never see this. But just read the room a tad bit, just a little bit. Just read the room. You don't come out and say these kind of things. Like, I don't know many top managers who do that. I was honestly, again, in the comment section, in the chat, please let me know or show me, because I don't want to seem ignorant. I don't want to seem like whatever. I just haven't seen it myself. I haven't seen Pep Guardiola. I haven't seen Mourinho. I haven't seen what's his name? I've never heard Sir Alex Ferguson do it. I haven't seen Carlo Ancelotti do it. Heck, I don't even see Alonso do it. I don't see Fabregas doing it, and he's managing a fucking Como. Do you get what I'm saying? Who are not the biggest team, of course, out there. I don't see some of the better managers, De Zerbi, coming out and constantly saying game after game, yeah, man, I don't really like the way that these teams are playing. And, we seem to kind of really have a problem with the way that, some of the teams are playing in the Premier League this season. Manchester City, they play the right way. You're going down the Arsene Wenger. Don't do that. Arsene Wenger looked like one of the OGs trying to still tell the young G's, like, yo, man, back in my day, you know what I'm saying? We was playing ball like this. We was playing football like that. We was doing this back in my day. Obviously, you, man, are trying to play football like... No, don't do that. Please do not do that. Because once you start sounding crazy like that, this is why people want you to bounce. This is because you're just sounding crazy right now. We don't care as fans anyway. You might care, of course, when you're the manager, so you need to care about every little detail, especially when you're losing this amount of games. You need to care. But as fans, I promise you, no fan cares about how many long balls Liverpool are facing. Set pieces, we don't give two shits. We don't care about why you're not getting certain decisions. No one cares. Nobody cares, bro. Just pattern whatever it is you need to pattern. Sort out whatever it is you need to sort out. Whatever that is, just sort that out. How about you start off with the identity? Huh? That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just G. I'm a 34-year-old man. I don't have the answers. I've never played top professional football before. I've never been in your position. I also don't earn the money that you earn, though. So I know if I fuck this shit up, I can just start another YouTube channel. It really is not that deep for me. You fuck this up, you're out of a job. Now, you could easily retire tomorrow, probably. But I hear it. The stakes are a lot higher for you. I get all of that. So I would think that you would at least be, and I'm not saying you're not actually, because that would be unfair and I don't know you personally. But I would have thought by now you would have come up with a bit of a solution. Like I say, context. Liverpool don't have like bare shit players. Like, and forget even shit because they're not Premier League footballers. They're like everyone from first to 20th. They're all Premier League footballers, so they're not shit. They're shit in context to other players, but they're not shit, right? You're dealing with some of the more high end players of that list, though, and you've been around some of these high end players. So I don't understand how you don't seem to have a plan for the players that you've got here. At the beginning of the season, all I kept hearing from fans, the mandem, streamers, whatever, all I kept hearing was, yeah, when it clicks. What the fuck does that mean? Sorry for swearing, but what does that even mean? When what clicks? Like, I never understood it then. And it's only now after speaking with N Savage and Jerry and that, when they explained it to me and they were just like, it's basically this. And I was like, but you can't have that when we don't know what, like, we need to get to a point of, yes, when it clicks, Liverpool need to have the identity and all of that stuff first. That's the only way you get to that. Luis Enrique, before he won the Champions League with PSG, he was already there doing the same things. So you knew it was going to click. You didn't know it was going to click like that. Of course, now that's then down to different factors and etc. But that's then the 1%, 2% margins that we keep talking about, i.e., players just then performing at a higher level in crazy form, and then it clicks. Teams in form, etc. That's when I can say, oh yeah, that's when it clicks. Blah blah blah. But he was doing the same thing. He tweaked maybe a couple of little bits. Got in Joao Neves, took out Gonzalo Ramos, as the striker. Then put Usman Dembele through the middle. That was more or less about it. Also ended up signing Kvaratskhelia, obviously signed Doué. So he had the plan, though. The team was playing the way that he wanted the team to play, because I watched them the previous season. But he didn't have Doué. He didn't have Joao Neves. He didn't have Kvaratskhelia. He had Dembele and all of that before. You know what I'm saying? He just moved Dembele into the middle, gave him more of a free roam. He put Doué out there as well. And then obviously he's got Kvaratskhelia, got Bradley Barcola, and he's still got Ramos there. Just now they do different things. Got Joao Neves in there with Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz. Now they're more of a cohesive unit. He's got William Pacho with Marquinhos. Now they can defend a bit higher up. They can press a little bit better with Mendes and Hakimi. Obviously, Mendes was injured for a very long time. Came back. Hakimi's been Hakimi. Guess what? Now they're doing what they're doing. I've got a shot stopper. I don't need my goalkeeper to be able to play out from the back, because that's not necessarily what I need him to do. The players can do that. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop Vitinha. I'm going to drop Joao Neves to basically be the goalkeeper in this move here, in the build-up play. Just to eliminate the goalkeeper, he's going to pass to him. And then I've got comfortable players to do what I need to do. Just need to fine-tune it a bit. But I've got the idea. Just I didn't really have those players. Like I said, it didn't have Joao Neves, didn't have Vitinha, didn't have Kvaratskhelia, didn't have Doué at the beginning. Then he got them. Do you know what I mean? But they already had the identity of what he wanted the team to do. Then you can tweak very little to obviously suit the players in terms of certain players, etc., etc. That's all. And that's all I'm asking from you here. And I'll be real, I don't feel like I'm asking for blood from a stone. I don't feel like I'm asking for that. Like, you signed Isak, you signed Ekatike, you signed Florian Wirtz, you signed Kirkes, you signed these players. I expected a plan. Now, I thought your plan was going to be you trying to play like PSG. I don't care who you play up from, whether it was Ekatike or Isak. And obviously at the time, I would have preferred you have played Isak. But obviously now, hindsight, 2020 and that, we know what we know. But it doesn't really matter. I thought that's what he was trying to do. Kind of like a free roam striker, even though it's like, isn't really that, but okay. A free roam striker or free roam player like Dembele, whoever that's going to be. Then you've got the Verts one was the more difficult one because I was like, I don't know what, like where you're going to play, but cool, whatever. We'll just have to try and figure that part out. Maybe he could have been the player. Maybe it could have just been him. Give him more of a free roam. Don't be dropping back, trying to pick up the ball from the left back or the right back or dribbling out from the box, from your own box, trying to still get up the field with no one to pass to. Didn't think we're still going to have the right winger just chilling out there on the right-hand side, especially if you weren't really trying to use him. Didn't think we wasn't going to create that many chances. Didn't think that you was going to have Kirkes trying to get ignored by his left winger. Definitely didn't think that Frimpong would be this injury prone. But I also didn't think that Bradley would be an inverted still. Thought he would just be a normal, wing back. I thought the defenders would stop moving the ball a bit quicker. I didn't think Van Dijk would still be doing the same shit. I didn't think Konate would still be doing the same mistakes. I knew that Alisson would get injured. I knew that we would have to rely on Mamardashvili at some point in time. I actually thought it was going to happen in December. I was a month out. That's Liverpool. That's why I don't really like talking about them too much on streams. Hence why you haven't seen me on the streams too much in the recent weeks. Because I don't really care at this point. Which is why I don't really want to always watch them. Because it just gets boring. It's boring, it's boring, it's boring, it's boring. Which moves us on to the next thing. Fans. I've listened to quite a few things over the last few days and that, right? Listening to some of the YouTubers and that, some of the things that they've said about other people, some of the things that people have said on the timeline, all of that, blah, 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 whatever. That's them, man. One of my things is that as fans, right, I don't understand why people always want to point score with everybody. I'm a better fan than you. I go to the games. I live here. All of that kind of stuff. We see, and this is every fan base, by the way. This is why I said this section was more for everybody. But you guys are obviously Liverpool fans. I don't really understand what the benefit of that serves, to be honest with you. Validation, of course. And like that's the obvious one. Validation, you're seeking the validation, which is cool. Run your rhythm. Just don't lie about it. Because man knows what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? We all know what you're trying to do. You're trying to seek the validation and whatnot. So when fans say certain things, right? Now, you can agree, you can disagree. That's calm. That's the whole point of conversation and that. But I feel like what I'm seeing anyway, and you know me, I'm an observer. I was the kid in school I'm a shit stirrer, as they like to say. I'm a shit stirrer. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The pot might be boiling. I might just throw something, get a little something in there just to hear the sizzle. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm hearing certain things or seeing certain things, I'm sitting there like, boy, first of all, you're going to let man chat to you like that. You know, or chat about you like that. That's crazy. But you know what? Forget even all of that, because that's just what it is, right? It's more about why can't people have the opinions that they do have? That's the bit that throws me all the time. Why can't someone just have the opinion that they have? Remember, you guys watching my channel right now, whether this on the replay or live, right? You guys already, some of you even in here, who I'd probably even say I'm even maybe cool with, in a sense of like we chat and whatnot. Some of you will know we've gone back and forth old school because of some of the things I've said about Klopp. I'm not going to go through all of that because that was then, this is now, right? And I don't want to go back into the past. But we've gone back and forth about certain things about football because we just don't agree. That's calm. That is calm. And some of those people I'm actually cool with now. And that's calm. But I just feel like nowadays it's like you can't have the opinion without being seen as a lesser fan. But I don't really get what being a lesser fan is. Like I don't really understand that. The reality is, why do you care if you're a lesser fan or a bigger fan? Like, I feel like that's what people need. Again, we're asking the wrong questions. That's what I would need someone to explain to me, is that, okay, what would, like, you being a bigger fan than, say, me, as an example, right? If you're a bigger fan than me, what does that do? Like, what do you hope to achieve by being the bigger fan or the better fan, shall I say? So you're willing, as an example, you're willing to give a manager time, whatever. I'm not. Like, I don't understand. Like, what does that mean in retrospect? What is the bigger picture here? Like, I just need that to be understood to then be able to understand as to why it means so much to so many different people. And that's all I'm kind of seeing these days. And that's what, and like I said, it's more to like, speaking about Liverpool specifically, and even actually, I look at like Arsenal, I've looked at Manchester United. In fact, like I say, everybody, right? I've seen at Arsenal, people like, I won't Mikel Arteta out. Some people are like, nah, why don't you have the belief? You're a fake fan. Why do you want him to go? Look what he's done for us. If someone just wants him to go, they just want him to go. You might not like the style of play. You might not like his approach. You might not like him. You might not like what he's done for the team. I mean, Arsenal ain't winning shit. So, well, they haven't won shit, should I say? Let me not say they ain't. They haven't. So it'd be understandable if someone did want him to go. Chelsea with Maresca, I've seen the same thing at that fan base. Some people want him to stay. Some people want him to go. Some people like the fact that he's won the Club World Cup. Some people don't care the fact that he's won the Club World Cup. Don't really feel like his style of play is going to be conducive to allow the team to be able to be a good team in the future. And then at Liverpool, same thing. We're having people who want Slot to stay, people like who have the belief that Liverpool will be able to turn this around. He'll be able to get us playing brilliant football, etc., shoot up the league. Some people want him to just go. They don't really care if he shoots up the league, but we're still playing shit. Some people just still want him to go, which I probably say I lean more on that side. And that's understandable. I just don't get why either side is so hell-bent really on almost trying to seem like I'm the better fan because you want this, and does it even matter at this point? It never matters. This is obviously how football's gone these days, and I get it. This is football discourse. This is what passes for conversation now in the football space. And like I said, maybe I'm just an old man. Yeah, you feel me? Maybe I'm just an old man. I mean, listen, I've still got the new era in that. I'm from. Is it here? No, can you see it? I'm from this era. Do you know what I'm saying? So maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. Maybe I'm generally just looking at it wrong. So maybe that's just what it is. But for me, I am a little bit like, I'm just hearing too much trying to jump on your high horse. And I'm just like, just sit down before someone kicks you off. Let's not do that. You know, let's not go down that kind of route because it doesn't serve any purpose. But more than anything, it doesn't really help for the situation that we're kind of in. What we should be doing, and this is across the whole football community, what we should be trying to do is let's come together more as one, first and foremost. That's what then creates. That's why some of these teams abroad are the way that they are, because of the culture that they create from within. Before it gets to players and etc., where you can then start really saying to man, yo, the standards at this football club, and I'm talking about, you know, people who are supporters of teams in League 2 in France or whatever, right? They'll come together as one and tell man, brother, you see the standards over here? We got different standards, you know. I don't care if you came from PSG and you come from Real Madrid. See the standards that we've got down here. Yeah, if you're not putting up them, you can do that though, because they're together as one. I feel like obviously just with here and again, UK, because I live here. When I look at it, I'm like, yeah, every fan base is always trying to point score so much that you end up creating a divide. And then there comes this conversation of online versus match goers. Like that makes any difference. Do you get what I'm saying? Like match going is for the player's ego. Online is for the online. That's all it is. Because match going, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be clapped, you're going to be cheered, you're going to be supported, right? Because you're down there, whatever. I don't think it's always true, to be honest, to what people really think when they go to matches. That's a different conversation. But because I always feel you're going to a match, if I want to boo a player, if I want to slag off one of my players, but I pay for the ticket, I'll do whatever that I want to do. Do you get what I'm saying? If I want to do that, because that's what I want to do. Bruv, you're shit. Why didn't you play that pass? Bruv, take this fucking guy off. Manager ain't got a fucking clue, etc., etc. I want to do that because that's what I pay for the tickets. So it's my ticket. I can do what I want. But more time, it doesn't really work out like that, which isn't a bad thing. I'm just saying, I feel like people always say it's the other way around. For me, when you go to games, I feel like people are more fake at games than they are, you know what I mean, at home. Unless it's like everyone's in unison about something, i.e. West Ham fans booing manager because the team's being shit and kind of thing. And it's usually only in those kind of situations. But online, it's more like, it's still fake because it's online, right? But online, you can just say what you're thinking. You can just say what you're feeling, even if it's just rage bait. But if you took out the rage bait stuff, right, you can just say what you're feeling. Say what you're feeling, and then you can just kind of go from there, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, I just think the whole point scoring system and yeah, it's I don't know, man. It seems kind of neaky. Do you know what I'm saying? It just seems so neaky, like the way that people are just kind of moving with that kind of stuff. And like I said, I mean, ultimately, it's not my business, but yeah, I just feel like people have just got to. We're having the wrong conversations. I feel like that's really my overarching thing, and maybe that might even be the title of this video. I haven't even decided, but yeah, we're just having the wrong conversations, and until we have the right conversations, it's just going to continue to be like this, and football discourse is going to still be like this, and we're still going to have rage bait. Remember, we allowed there to be rage bait. We allowed people to come out and say scandalous things. We allowed it. We get mad at it when we see it on the timeline, but we allowed it. We allowed for it to happen. Do you get what I'm saying? So really, we can only be mad at ourselves. We can only be mad at ourselves. So it is what it is, man. I mean, that's about 40 minutes done and dusted. Yeah, I think I will just leave it there. Big up to everybody. Whether I'm chatting with you in the chat, whether I'm, you know, you're leaving a comment after the video, big up regardless. Big up regardless. Yeah, man. I just felt like, yeah, there's just a few things that one needed to be cleared up in a sense. Sort of the first thing we spoke about, the football formation versus style of play, but also the fan stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people are asking me what I think about Liverpool. I thought I'd throw that in there, let people kind of know in regards to that. Do I think Liverpool win a league? No. I didn't think they would win the league at the beginning of the season. And I definitely don't think they'll win it now. I don't think they're good enough. Even with the players that we did sign, I still didn't think we was good enough to win the league. That could obviously change, of course. We'd have to see how the season goes. But yeah, for me, like I said, last season, as much as I was happy that I, as a supporter of Liverpool, have now seen 2 league, or what my team has won 2 league titles since I've been alive. I'm happy at that, but I promise you, I won't remember it like that. Maybe if we go 50 years without winning a title, then yeah, obviously I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember back in kind of thing. Then revisionism starts to come into it. But yeah, I feel like for the foreseeable future, for the near future, yeah, I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking, yeah, I don't really think like I didn't rate last season like that anyway. I don't even think we even deserved it like that, but we did it. We were the most consistent team, which is probably the only thing that we were good at last season, whereas everyone else had no consistency. That was it. This season, you're seeing play exactly the more or less the same way, if not, well, no, we play similar style, but it's just worse. It's been worsely done. Worsely, is that a word? Liz, if you're in the chat, is that a word? Worsely done. I might be wrong. But either way, we're playing worse than we did last season, right? Similar way, but it's being done, it's being executed poorly. That's the phrase I was looking for. It's been executed poorly, right? Because it's been executed poorly, you're now seeing that. But we're playing kind of the same. Everyone was gassed when Liverpool went back to the fourth. From what I saw anyway, everyone was like, oh yeah, we're going back to what we did last season. And I was like, all right, but last season was shit in terms of the football we was playing. And people complained. People who were going to the games complained. Like, you fully complained. You fully complained. I remember going West Ham with JJ. People complaining that the style of plays and everything there. So people have been complaining. They've been complaining. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, one, people need to start remembering what it is that they flipping said. But more importantly, we need to have the right conversations. That's where I'll leave it, people. Big up to your damn self. Again, big up to anybody in the chat. Big up to watching on the replay, whatever the case may be. Bless up to everybody. I said this will be a live stream. Like I said, my StreamYard is just acting up. So I am trying to come back with some more videos and stuff like that. I could even be back the next day. So yeah, make sure you just keep the notification bell on. Big up to your damn self. I don't even know who's even in this live chat. So this is just me guessing, but big up to Scraps, big up to Liz, big up to Hakeem, big up to Honesty. And also, before I actually do forget, big up to all the members, because you guys, like I always say, man, if you want to support the channel, you can support the channel. You know, I don't care about that kind of stuff. Like, you supporting the channel for me is just being here. I prefer you even just to be here. If everybody would just always, if I had the 3,000 subscribers that I got, if you all flocked to my streams at the same time, I would appreciate that more even than the membership itself. So I proper appreciate people who do become members of my channel. I want to try and do something for you guys. Maybe if not Christmas, at the end of the season, I really want to just, you know, give you guys something back in a sense. Maybe I might even do a stream where we just chop it up, you know, kind of thing. I'll chat to the members. If you guys ever want to just jump on stream, we just chop up ourselves. Like, you can have 10 people on StreamYard, so 10 of us, yeah, I mean, well, 9 other people, should I say, and we can just rotate it if it means that someone isn't always allowed in. And heck, I'll even jump out. I'll even jump out. You guys, you can just even have the chat once a month, and then I'll just be in the comment section and I'll just regulate it because I can still regulate it from the back office anyway. So yeah, but listen, man, we'll see what's up, man. But big up to everybody. Yeah, and enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.